night. And Carl, some weeks ago, set up this event that we're about to hear. I learned of it just recently, but I'm really glad that we've got some live music. Soelta Gael always plays music and talks about the entire Gaelic and Celtic diaspora in whatever form it may be found, from the home islands of Ireland and Britain through to Brittany, the Isle of Man, Cornwall, as well as Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, and other places where Celtic people are found. And in recent years, there's been a big recognition among musicians around the world that they're all kind of in the same boat, and it was time for them to get together. And so I'm a banjo player. I've noticed that several banjo players have recently put together albums and tours in Africa or with African musicians to explore the common ground that the banjo, which of course originated in Africa, has in modern times with contemporary African musicians. And in other ways, Celtic instruments have been featured in world music productions over the last 10 years or so in a never-ending array of formats. We're going to have a way of hearing bagpipes tonight that I haven't heard before, and so I'm looking forward to that. Without saying anything more about it, let me just bring them up on the old unit here and say, take it away, guys. Wow. Wow. Well, we've been listening to Doug Reichlin and Cornelius Duncan in what I would say is a world music style of bagpipe playing, or for that matter, a world music style of drum playing. So welcome to KGNU and the Cabaret Room, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
I recognize the first tune. It's Amazing Grace, the best-known bagpipe tune in these times, although in past times I think maybe there were others that were better known, but that's a great one. What was the tune you just played?
Okay, it's a jig called the Sinner's Bonnet. I don't know what what it really means, but it pipe Major Willie Ross. It's about a little over 100 years old.
Well, you have quite a bonnet on your head this evening. Is that the Sinner's bonnet, or
I got a Balmoral cap.
Okay. And in fact, you are, I joked with Devon, who is here with us tonight, that you forgot we're not on television, and you came looking as if you ought to be.
Yeah.
You're looking great, Doug. A great outfit there, the full traditional piper's suit, I guess I would call it, but maybe you have a different name.
Yeah, it's
the rig.
regalia.
Regalia. Oh, a perfect term. Perfect term for it. You wearing the sporran bag and the whole thing?
Got
okay,
it, yeah.
I see it. Yeah, the lighting is a little uneven in there, so I couldn't see it. But yeah, you seem well equipped, and more importantly, you're equipped with a pretty good set of pipes. It seems to me.
Yeah, they're pretty new. They're called Peter Henderson pipes, and it's too bad people can't see them, but they're finely. The detail work is wonderful, and I think they have a nice sound, real sweet tone.
We're at a higher elevation than you can get most anywhere in Scotland, except maybe a couple of mountain tops. A friend of mine who played the bagpipes here 40 years ago used to have trouble getting all his drones working at the same time
Well, I had a
because he
little
couldn't get
blowout
enough air.
On Amazing Grace.
Uh-huh.
But no, the elevation, it's well known that the Rocky Mountains are a tough environment for bagpipes because of the dryness. And then you have the elevation with your stamina, and then the effect on the reed. It's just, everything's dried out here.
Is there anything you can do about the reed? Can you keep it moist or anything?
You have to have a right kind. You want to have moisture always on a reed. From experimentation.
Do you carry slices of apple in your bag or anything like that? I know people who do that with their guitars.
You can put water in your pipe bag, and you want to have
a sponge, maybe.
You don't want to let your not drink enough water,
of course.
And it's really critical because if you start drying out, playing out in the hot sun, you're going to wither.
How old were you when the bagpiping bug bit you?
Really, a little more than 7 years ago.
Oh, I see.
So I'm kind of. I had a classical music background, and a long time ago. And
what instrument did you play in classical?
I was really into the music of Handel and Bach.
So it was a somewhat sensible step. A lot of the bagpipe tunes are contemporary with Handel and Bach.
Well, there's a lot of similarities in it's a very structured. Bagpipes are really, I'd say, pretty close to being closer to classical than anything else.
Certainly the straight time fits with the Baroque music,
right.
as well as leading marching soldiers.
Yeah, very much so.
So was bagpiping the first thing that the English found useful about the Scots?
Well, I think that it was a matter
for leading the armies.
If you couldn't beat them, you join them. They banned the bagpipe as an instrument of war in the 1700s, and then incorporated the pipes bands into the British Empire, as they were all over the world. You'll find to this day bagpipe bands, and even in the Gulf, some of the Gulf countries.
Really?
Yeah.
The Gulf states?
Yeah, some of them.
Wow.
Wherever there was a British colony.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Yeah, and like Pakistan, I've heard, is the largest manufacturer of bagpipes. Not necessarily known, there's the quality but for inexpensive bagpipes, and they make a lot of the hats and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So again, the diaspora continues.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked for a while. How about getting some more music out of you guys?
Oh, I'll get my whistle out first.
All right.
And then
Well, if that'll take a moment, perhaps we can talk to Cornelius Duncan. I was going to wait till after the next tune, but Cornelius, could you tell us how you came to get mixed up with a bagpipe? You're a handy drummer, I can tell from 2 tunes, but I'll bet you didn't grow up playing with bagpipers. Is that so?
Well, I grew up listening to bagpipe players.
Oh, really?
Yes. There was a jazz bagpipe player by the name of Rufus Harley.
I remember him.
Who played jazz bagpipes, and he used to play a lot of jazz standards, and I was really into jazz. My grandfather got me into listening to jazz and blues and various types of music, but that was one instrument that always struck me. And then when I would see original bagpipe players, say doing St. Patrick's Day, it always caught my ear. It's a type of instrument, either you're going to run away from it or you're going to, run towards it. That's how I feel about it.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. And Rufus really did look good in a kilt, too.
Thank you.
I thought we were joking earlier that Cornelius came in sort of payday coveralls today, and I told him he should have brought his plaid ones because it's going to look right. If we're going to be TV ready, even though we're radio, we might as well go all the way. Well, Cornelius, when did you run into Doug, and how long have you guys been playing together?
Well, I knew Doug as a former customer. I used to work for the Boulder Co-op, and I made all the organic juices and wheatgrass and smoothies.
Okay.
And I never knew this guy was a musician until about I met him about 10 years ago, and about a year ago I found out he was a musician. I didn't know he played flute or bagpipes or anything. I heard him at a community center one afternoon, and I was really blown away, and I thought about maybe getting together, and I love the tune Amazing Grace, and I've always wanted to try to experiment with it and do some things with it, with conga drums or any type of percussions. And since that collaboration, since getting together with him, that's how I got a chance to meet Devon with the movies, short movies they came out with called Peace to You, which both of us are featured on that particular piece. It's mostly about Doug, and it was a great piece, and that's one of the things that kind of got us together, So it's a little bit of history back there.
Have you played drums your whole life, or is that a more recent thing for you?
Basically all my whole life. Yes, various different types of drums, different types of rhythms, and one of my pure favorites was Sun Ra, who kind of told us all that we better learn some new rhythms. And so we started experimenting and learning new rhythms, and that's where I'm at right now. And like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure to play with this gentleman right here.
Well, you dropped a few new rhythms into Amazing Grace. I thought I was hearing some rhythmic signatures in there that you don't normally hear with Amazing Grace, and more importantly, to my ear, they worked.
Absolutely.
So, do you guys get together often and work on your sound, or
as much as possible?
And it's different every time. He's a jazz guy. Yeah, Cornelius is a real jazz guy. He likes to improvise, and
so far, your output has been trad tonight, but do you also play jazz, Doug?
Not really. I fake it.
Are you working in that direction because you're working with Cornelius?
There's some of these tunes you can play on the whistle on the recorder. Some of the jazz, like Take 5.
Oh yeah. Did you guys bring that one tonight? No. Okay. Cornelius shaking his head, slicing his throat. I don't think that was going to happen. Okay.
But we might, we're gonna do some Irish, the Lark of the Morning and Monahan's Jig.
Well, Doug has stepped up to the mic with a whistle now, so let's take it away, Doug Reichlin and Cornelius Duncan. what a beautiful tune. Way to go, guys. Tell me the name again.
Oh, that's Lark in the Morning and Monahan's Jig.
Well, once again, the two instruments really work well together.
thank you.
One's really legato, and the other's pretty staccato,
Yeah.
with good sustain in there. So I think you guys are pointing some new directions in
thank
the
you.
world of in the world of Celtic music here, and
Wow.
and the Celtic of world music as well. So cool, way to go. Now, tell me how. I'm sure some people out there are wondering, how can I see these guys? How can I get in touch with these
Okay,
guys?
I have a website. It's a real easy to remember, BoulderBagpiper.com, and you can find the videos and other information. The gig I have, I play on the mall. Try to do that every weekend, and I playing at the Vail Valley Music Festival the last week of July.
Okay.
As they have a outdoor where they want, it's called Music in Motion, and they wanted musicians who can play and walk. So the pipes are perfect for that.
Yeah, unlike piano.
Right, or
Really a drag.
So I'll be up there.
Marimbas I understand, are not that much fun either. Even with the wheels, it's a little hard to play those while you're walking.
Right.
My friends in the Wild Okapi Marimba band, they're pretty static. They're in motion where they are, but the whole band ain't going nowhere once they get set up. Well, all right, we've got time for another tune, and then I have to do some business here on the thing. But I want to hear another edition of you guys. Is there a name for the act?
Yeah, we came up with instruments of peace. Because, as I say, it was an instrument of war at one time, and it's been transformed.
Beautifully transformed
Yeah.
as well. That's the KGNU style, and we'll take lemons and make lemonade out of them, and take instruments and make peace with them. So, friends, we've been listening to Doug Reichlin and Cornelius Duncan with a new combination of things. It looks like Doug is about to take the stage solo with the bagpipes. I always have to ask the names of these tunes because I can't keep the names straight in my head. Not that I'm saying they all sound alike. It's just that I've got a problem with names. So help us out.
Yeah, that's the Glasgow Police Piper. Yeah.
Are there other bagpipe events coming up that you know of that you might want to tell bagpipe fans about?
There are the Highland Games this summer in Littleton, Highlands Ranch, and there's one in Elizabeth.
Are those in July?
July and August.
August, okay.
There'll be plenty of pipe bands. And
you're in Vail the last week of July.
Right.
Could you give us one more tune to take us out
Sure.
before I get into business here?
Yeah.
What a powerful sound.
Yeah, that's real. That was real. It's called In and Out of the Harbor, and it was really popular in the 90s with the Battlefield Band, and a lot of other groups played it. The great thing about this music, it's old, but you never get tired of these wonderful tunes.
Well, it's true. It rings as true now as ever. And in a world where technology is taking over in so many ways, the bagpipe seems to steadfastly hold firm to its technical roots, which is to say it's completely organic. Well, they are making the bags out of something.
There's been refinement in that end. Yeah, the synthetic.
But it's still
control
you play it with you blow air into it and
you have
play on a
drones.
piece of wood and so on. It doesn't. You don't have any smartphone apps in there that you can
There's
do.
no digital
can't
stuff.
dial in the reverb and the chorus and delay. And to me, that's one of the things that makes it so endearing. Is that in fact people have you're walking in the steps of distant ancestors when you play those tunes and play them the way they were played then as well, without modern affectation. I want to say thanks to Devon for setting up this whole thing.
Yeah, no, I want to thank you. This has been a great experience, very professional, and really have enjoyed it. But I just really want to encourage the listening audience to go to the website. It's very easy, BoulderBagpiper.com.
Thanks for that. And thanks to Doug Reichlin and Cornelius Duncan for coming down to KGNU and filling the cabaret room with wonderful music tonight. Live music is where it all begins, and we're just kind of floating on top of that when we play these records. So thanks very much, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
Come
Thanks
back
to KGNU.
Come back soon. Thanks very much. And we've got some messages here to play.
Soelta Gael is made possible by you, the KGNU listener member, and by the Celtic Connection. The Celtic Connection is a monthly newspaper for all people with an interest in Celtic news, music, language, culture, and tradition. For subscription information, visit CelticConnection.com or call 303-777-0502.